name incredibly difficult to try to figure out how to pronounce, but yeah, he's a good dude. Um, and I don't love Titan, but that's just because I'm a bitter scrub. So with that out of the way, we're back. We're playing all sorts of Hammer Time decks this evening. And no, not Hammer Time decks. We're playing all sorts of Urza Saga's deck this evening. So this card is a big new player in the modern format. I'm really hoping it doesn't get banned. But you know what? If it's going to, I want to play some of the craziest brews, some of the most impacted things from this. So I guess that eventually means I'm going to play Amulet Titan, but not tonight. Tonight we're starting off with Mono White Hammer Time. So I haven't touched this archetype since its earliest days. I know I played Red White Hammer Time right when the deck was absolutely brand new, and it was a great time. Just kind of like a really good, like hyper aggressive slash combo deck. Sort of similar to Infect, but in a very different way. So what's this deck all about? Well, Colossus Hammer was in M20, very innocuous, as so many of the things in M20 that ended up being obscene were. So you got a 1 mana artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +10/+10 and loses flying. Wonderfully flavorful. And it's equip cost of 8, which is obviously restrictive. But since you can actually get it into play, there are a whole bunch of ways to cheat on the cost of getting that equipped. We're going to use 2 different ones in this deck. So we're using Sigarda's Aid. It's an enchantment from Eldritch Moon, which has nothing to do with crazy Eldrazi Eldritch Horrors. It's a single white mana for an enchantment. It says you may cast aura and equipment spells as though they had flash, which is probably more useful for us. Rot-Weiß Hammerzeit. No, wait. Nur Weiß. Nur Weiß. Yeah. Thank you, Magus. Danke. Anyway, so the flash ability on this is important, but whenever an equipment enters the battlefield, we can attach it to target creature we control for totally free, which circumvents the restriction on Colossus Hammer wonderfully. And then we also have Puresteel Paladin. So this was from New Phyrexia for white. Ich bin ein Gurke? Probably Gurke. Is that pickle? Anyway, so Puresteel Paladin for white is a 2/2 human knight. Whenever an equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. Sweet. And then you can equip for 0 mana any equipment you control, as long as you have Metalcraft, which is that you control 3 or more artifacts, which we're obviously looking to do here. So these are our 2 ways to cheat the equips. We also have Stoneforge Mystic, which exists as both a tutor for equipment cards in our deck and lets us drop them into play at instant speed for free. Which dovetails nicely in with some of the other things. They used to be playing 4 Steelshaper's Gift. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, no, I'm sure why we're not anymore. This is a single white for a sorcery. You search your library for an equipment card, reveal that card, and put it on into your hand. Then shuffle, so it just gets you whichever equipment you want. Usually Colossus Hammer, but not always. And Urza Saga, of course, when it hits its 3rd chapter, will allow us to tutor any artifact with cost of 0 or 1, specifically 0 or 1. But that does include Colossus Hammer. If there's a Sigarda's Aid in play, it'll snap onto something. If there's not, we hopefully have a Puresteel Paladin to do that. And Puresteel Paladin will draw a card from it coming into play that way. So it doesn't matter how you put the equipment into play. As long as Puresteel Paladin's around, you're going to draw cards. So lots of crunchy little interactions to be found there. We also have a 1 of Shadowspear. This is pretty normal, mostly because it gives trample. It also gives lifelink, which is occasionally helpful. And the activatable ability, the other activatable ability on it, probably not going to be super useful in this deck, but we'll see. Then we have a 1 of Pithing Needle. This is tutorable with the Saga. We've got some Springleaf Drums, Memnites, and Ornithopters. These are cheap creatures we can snap our sword or our hammer onto, as well as we can use to produce mana. Newcomer Esper Sentinels here in 4 copies. So this is a single white for a 1/1 creature. Whenever an opponent casts their first non-creature spell each turn, you draw a card unless that player pays X, where it's the power of Esper Sentinel. So sometimes that's going to be incredibly useful, sometimes less so. We've got Silent Clearing as 4 cycle lands that we can sacrifice when they're in play to draw a card. I don't think we're not playing all 8 that we could be, just because oftentimes in Modern your early game life total is very important. And we've got 4 Inkmoth Nexus, which is really important. Inkmoth Nexus is a 1/1 flyer with Infect. And so you can end the game on the spot by equipping a Colossus Hammer to it. The interesting thing about it is that the way this works, if you have Sigarda's, or if you get a hammer on this, there's two different tricks you can do. One, you can animate an Inkmoth Nexus, get a hammer equipped to it. It will then lose flying. Then if you animate it again, it will regain flying. So that's an important thing to know if you have to do it with Puresteel Paladin. And otherwise, if you're doing it with Sigarda's aid, you can, of course, attack with the Inkmoth Nexus. And then once it's not blocked, you can flash in your hammer and equip it. And it's not going to matter anymore that your creature isn't flying because it's already not been blocked. That's some of the small tricks we'll get into as we're playing these. Urza Saga is going to be a really interesting card in this archetype because it's going to add a bit of a mid-range grindy plan where we just vomit a bunch of large constructs into play, and hopefully we can get some work done with that. Then we're also a Lurrus deck, so that even more adds to a kind of grindy mid-range angle. We've got some Giver of Runes. These help protect our creatures. And we got some sideboard cards. So let's hop into a league. All the newcomers, you can, of course, press !deck in chat if you want to get the actual list that we're playing right now, since it's not going to be on stream all the time. Hopefully Fran's stream was good. I saw he was getting back to playing Titania. I hope that you managed to create a good number of 5/3 elementals. I know Faithless Brewing was exploring Titania over the last week, so Titania's love? Yeah, Titania is super sweet. I mean, not as much without Wasteland. Obviously, we don't have Wasteland. Hammer of Perforos? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I saw you were playing like red-green Titania. Did you have any copies of Kiora Behemoth Beckoner in there? If not, why? Yesterday I played the clearly superior Hammertime list, which is I think I still have it. I should. Yeah, here we go. This is the much better Hammertime list in my opinion, but Zoomers may disagree. But I think Fran's an old timer like me and would appreciate the Hammertime, the real Hammertime. Play Kiora and Amulet Pog? Yo. Kiora is gasoline. Argentinian boomer? He might be. He might be an Argentinian zoomer. He might just be an Argentinian human being. Behemoth Beckoner, the one from War of the Spark. So if you play it with Utopia Sprawl, it's able to generate 2 mana for you, and it also draws you a card anytime you have a creature come into play with power 4 or greater. So, do you have your Old Border Primeval Titans? I was considering buying Old Border Primeval Titans, not because I ever really want to play them, but just because they're Old Border. Okay, I think this hand is a keep. We just lead on Esper Sentinel. Sorry, we're going to lead on Springleaf Drum, Memnite, or Ornithopter into Esper Sentinel and just get a good board presence going. And then turn 2, we tutor up a hammer. So all we need is a way to get the hammer equipped. If we draw Puresteel Paladin, we have white, and we have enough artifacts in play. And of course, if we draw Sigarda's Aid, we're good to go that direction. Opponent bit 5 on Breeding Pool Hierarch. I think we can do better. We'll lead on Inkmoth Nexus. If I draw a hammer, I want to be able to attack with that right away. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do that, do that. Okay, and then do I want to play an Ornithopter? Yeah, maybe. Kiora will be gassed with new Kasmina. She has a bajillion loyalty. Yeah, for sure. Although you can't draw a card off of the creature generating ability on Kasmina, because it puts it into play as a 0/0. So just FYI, if that was something you thought you were interested in, you're not. So I mean, you might be interested in it, but you can't do that. That's not a legal play in the game Magic the Gathering. Spell Queller? Spell Queller. It is a good quote. Spell Queller. All right, we basically don't play. This deck has no removals, so that's just gonna be around forever. And I guess this is our life now. Spell Queller on our Stoneforge. Always play drum before the 0 mana. Yeah. That's correct, Shauna. That is the always correct sequencing. So that's worth noting. You always want to play the drum before the 0 mana. So I guess last turn I could have attacked with Memnite before I played my Stoneforge into their Spell Queller. But not really going to worry about that. I don't need to dump extra Ornithopters into play. I don't know what variety of Bant mediocrity we're against here, but it is very possible they're playing things like Deputy of Detention, which I don't want to get to eat all of my Ornithopters and shrink my construct tokens, although I guess they're probably going to save it for that anyway, so they save it for the constructs anyway. Yeah. Esper Sentinel. I have not had an Esper Sentinel trigger and draw me a card yet. And I've played it in at least 2 full leagues, I think. 4 copies in 2 different decks over a full league, and I don't think I've ever drawn a card off of it. Yeah. Is Sentinel my new pest? Maybe. Yeah. Just so everyone's on the up and up here, if you listen to the Arena Decklist podcast, they're very, very smart players, but sometimes they miss rules, just like the rest of us. So you do not have to activate Urza's Saga a second time during your upkeep. That is not necessary. You can do it with the trigger on the stack from Chapter 3, and in theory, it's better to do so that way, in that your opponent has now had to deal with it before it got to that point. So I could Pithing Needle their Misty Rainforest. That seems incredibly cheeky. Getting a Colossus Hammer doesn't really help me here. So I guess Shadowspear is probably better. Yeah, because I can get it equipped this turn onto one of my large lads. Although maybe I should throw it on the Sentinel. Nah, no. This goes on the biggest construct I can throw it on. I could also throw it on. Oh, they've conceded. What? No, come back! All right, we oppressed them. We officially oppressed them. We played Urza's Saga. We generated 2 constructs, and it was too good. They scooped. Classic Modern Horizons 2. Oh, Modern Horizons 2. You goon. All right. So creature removal seems really good. I don't think that there's anything else that I'm interested in. I mean, maybe Seal of Cleansing if they end up playing Stony Silence. Maybe I should be bringing these in proactively. Yeah, right? I was expecting an earth-shattering Collected Company. Yeah, I think bringing in Seal of Cleansing proactively is probably the right thing to do here. Yeah, Esper Sentinel generally seems really poor. And then, as a wise man said today, okay, a dude with a spear is a lot better than a dude barehanded. I do like my dudes with just like big raging spears. I don't know what else I'm supposed to. I really feel like maybe the Path to Exiles are a bit much, and then these are good because these are gonna hate on their hate pieces. I guess they should probably have some kind of creature hate piece. Second Needle, maybe EE is popular. I guess so. Yeah. But like, I'm already having trouble figuring out how to sideboard here. I guess they have flyers, so let's like cut an Ornithopter. All right. I'm not bringing the past. It could be a mistake, but the Prismatic Ending is an answer, and like they just scooped up there, which seemed super early. But maybe they just had like literal nothing. The wise man was yourself, in case you were wondering. I hadn't been, but I probably should have started wondering. Huh. Is this a turn 2 kill? Yes, it is. Here's really happy. A lot of people still think Lorehold is a meme. Every time I see a player play the deck who is someone who I actually respect at all for their playability or their opinion, or rather, if they're willing to at least try to entertain the concept of it, they seem to usually be good enough and, like, I don't know the right way to say it. Like, so for example, I think Doomwake was committed to it being a bad deck when he played it, and therefore it didn't work out, and he said it was bad, right? And I don't think that Doomwake is incapable of having a great run with that deck. He just maybe had one of the worst possible leagues with it. This does stop my Springleaf Drum and my Memnite. But in theory, we can get a turn 3 kill with this. We cannot get a turn 3 kill with this. That was the absolute nut perfect. Unless I... Well, no. Well, no, if I drew a Sigarda's 8, I could get a turn 3 kill here. Okay, well, this is bad. Not too bad. I mean, we're done. We're not done here, but... Actually, if I draw Sigarda's 8... No, I'm a mana short. Alright, this is bad. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah, confirmation bias, all that. But, like, when Zan Saeed played it, like, I thought he was, like, super low on the deck, and then he just, like, started wrecking people with it, because he wasn't playing it like crap. He wasn't, like, conceding early, and he wasn't, you know, he was playing to his outs always. And, jeez. Bounce my Memnite. Do it, you coward. Yeah, we're talking about the 4-color turns deck. Okay. Split up my attackers here. You're brave, man. We're playing. Well, you saw me, Ifeno, you saw me check like 3 different times that I was activating the correct one. I didn't want to tap my white mana to activate the Inkmoth. I mean, that's just inefficient. You know? Yeah, that's fair. Hey, listen, if you have a way that you want to play around it and it works for you, then that's awesome. For me, I know what I would do if it was a tournament and that moment mattered to me. That's how I would have done that. But I... Aptly named Oof. I guess I knocked down the Teferi here. Or attempt to. Are we in Scoop City? I think we might be in Scoop City. I mean, technically, is there an out from this point? I mean, I guess there is. Sure. Let's give Hammertime the benefit of the doubt here. Oh, we have Man versus Moto is the most haunting way to lose a game. Yeah, I feel that. I just realized I boarded in prismatic endings, but I don't actually have a second color right now. I have colorless, which does not help for what I need to remove here. So maybe the endings are not as good of a sort of overall out here as I was thinking of. I mean, we do have silent clearings in the deck, but like, so at the moment, if I want to remove their collector oof, if I draw a prismatic ending, I also need to draw a silent clearing, which is not all right. This is just all right. Well, no, they left their flyer back. Yeah, we're done here. I'm done here. I don't care anymore. They drew their Haymaker hate piece. I mean, yeah, I mean, we had a medium draw. The oof hurts, Shauna, but like the oof on top of the draw on top of my missed sideboard. Because I just didn't expect anyone in the world to try running collector oof against artifact decks right now. I just feel like creatures have such a target on them already that it's just like that's like really probably not the way you want to do that. And so Prismatic Ending X2 is going to be hard to do. But I think it's worth keeping around. Yeah, it does. It does make sense if you're playing a collected company list. I mean, it's just like I hate collected company so much that I don't know how to think about building or playing a collected company deck realistically speaking. So I don't have, you know, I just don't have the tenacity. I don't have the guts to register collector oof. Why do I hate collected company? Because it can miss. Like, there's just so many times, almost every time I play collected company, it has betrayed me. Like, brutally. Yeah, that's a keep on the play, especially. We're going to have an attacking Ornithopter on 2. Yeah, exactly. I cast Collected Company, and I got a I got a Noble Hierarch for 4 mana, instant speed. Yeah, that's why I hate the card. It's a good card. You just like, and don't get me wrong, like the deck that I've become popular for right now is the Velomachus deck, right? Which obviously you can miss. So how can I like one thing and not like the other one? And my answer is I don't know. I've been way more disappointed way more consistently by Collected Company than I ever have been by the Dragon. Besides the fact that that deck is also good at setting up situations where even if the dragon misses, it's not the end of the world. So, slice it any way you want, but that's, yeah. And like, there's just, I don't know. It's, yeah, they're different cards. So get the Skiver out, attack with Thopter. Yeah, exactly. Like, even when Velomachus misses, it's usually not a miss, right? Like, you just miss the turn spell, but you hit something. Yeah. Oh! Opponent with the hot out. Force of Negation coming back in Force of Negation? Can't give her a runes that, even if it didn't have Summoning Sickness. Yeah. Opponent's got all the answers. I mean, we'll be fine. This Skyclave? I'm sorry, what? You're gonna have to repeat yourself. I didn't what? You get are you you guys seeing that? I definitely wasn't expecting to see a Geist of Satan. Jesus Christ. Is the last card another Force of Negation, I wonder? 2021, baby! Are we gaming? There we go. Connect. Snap on. I don't think I've seen Geist in 2021 yet. Praise be. Praise be to the Geist of Saintraft for not showing up in the matches that I play. And yea, it came to pass that the Geist was banished from Modern. Alright, what do you got? Teferi. What would Teferi even do? Bounce the Ornithopter. That would be bad. Modern is healing. Not yet, it's not, if you listen to the screaming masses. Okay. Can't bounce the thought because of giver. That's true. That's true. Wait, are they? Are they dead? Pro green. Pro green, opponent. Pro green. You have one card in hand. You can't pitch. Yeah. No, I'm good. No blocks. No, they have one card in hand. They can't. They can't do anything. They have no solitude, no force of vigor. There's not. So, how big of a pause do you think I give them here? Target. What color should I choose? Blue? No, white, right? Because of the solitude? Gotta dodge the solitude. No, blue. I want to dodge the force of negation. No, green. I mentioned it. Force of vigor. We gotta dodge the force of vigor. Opponent says GG. All right. All right, give me one second, because I was not planning on starting the stream right off the bat, but then that Fran raid was hot. Thank you, Fran. You're right. Yeah. All right. There we go. Hi-ya. Hey, Roybert. We're actually playing Hammer Time today. The Browns FG team? What are the Cleveland Browns? The Cleveland Browns? Don't worry, we still have enough money to buy the Cleveland Browns. How's the list feel thus far? Well, we got a game one concession where I put two 7/7 constructs into play, and I had two more Ornithopters in my hand, and one of them was going to get equipped with a Shadowspear, and my opponent just conceded. Game two, they landed a Collector Oof on turn 2 or so, and we died. And then, the last modern streamer, quote unquote, F. Paulus, rated me literally like the second I booted up my stream. Like the second I started my stream, Fran was like, bang, in. I'm on it. So, he's the man today. Fran raid. I mean, he's the man always, but I am confirming his opinion that he is the man. No, I'm kidding. Fran's a good guy. Meow. All right. Necrosed is my opponent on Urian. Well, we've got multiple redraws and a Saga. The Urian deck is probably really slow. It's probably a creature combo deck, like some kind of Kiki chord nonsense, which I feel like this hand is not good enough against. Saga auto win, easy keep. All right, fine. I like we have Saga, Sentinel, Puresteel Paladin, so we're like actually reasonably close. The thing is, the sequencing in this hand actually sucks, right? Because if I play Saga on 1 or 2, I can't play the Puresteel Paladin. I don't know. This was a bad keep. This is what I understand, a bad keep. Yeah. I mean, it's not awful. It's just slow, and I think this is a matchup where if we get into the mid game proper, I'm toast. But I could be wrong. I just my instinct about this matchup is that if we get to the mid game, I'm toast. I think Saga's 2 on fan. You don't need to rush out the Paladin. Yeah, but once the Saga's in play, I kind of want to use my mana on it. Like the next 2 turns. So I'm not sure. I do know this deck is actually quite good at sort of leveraging its mana. One thing that I didn't make note of earlier is that we're not playing any Mishra's Baubles with our Lurrus, which sometimes these decks did. Mostly they did for a long time. I guess they're just out of slots now. They have to play too much in the combo, on the combo axis. Maybe Esper Sentinel will actually get to draw some cards this game. Nope. Not yet, anyway. Wall of Omen's gonna put a stop to my early beatdown, which is fine. Perfect. That draw is perfect. That draw is literal perfect. So we go attack, play Stoneforge, play Hammer, draw a card. See where we end up, but we should quite easily have 3 artifacts in play next turn, I think. Between Esper Sentinel, the Hammer, and then I make Construct, equip the Hammer. So things are working out. Thanks for the follow there, Cossator, and Alexizi, which I missed earlier. Oh, I forgot to use my soundbite.
It's Hammer time.
Yeah, there's a bunch of 0 mana artifacts in the deck. There's Ornithopters, there's Memnites. I think there's at least one more. There's 4 Ornithopters, 4 Memnite. No, maybe there's no more 0s. And there's a couple of 1-of tutor targets. There's 1 Shadowspear and 1 Pithing Needle. Well, thanks for watching me, Cossator. As I was talking about in the most recent episode of Serum Visions, I'm kind of addicted to... should have probably Stoneforge pre-combat at the Metalcraft op... Holy crap, you're right. I could have potentially attacked with a hammer that turn. The sequence that I described actually could have attacked with a hammer if I had drawn Ornithopter or Memnite. Okay, that's good to know. Or Springleaf Drum, actually. If I... No, that doesn't work. That one doesn't work. But, okay. But we can attack with a hammer this turn. So what's going to mat... Well, we were 1 card away from the Thopter. But that's fine. So this is fine. Probably... I don't think it matters which land I'm playing because I'm using this 3 mana here. So... But I don't necessarily have to use it before combat. So let's play Thopter. And then I suppose I equip this to the Sentinel. Now if they ever play a non-creature spell, they have to play 11 mana or I draw a card. Which is pretty hot. And then we just go combat, attack with all 3. I think the way the blocks work out, they don't actually end up taking damage here unless they want to take a hit for 10. Like, this is all up to them no matter what. Yeah, okay. But we get through for 3 here. They should probably chump block Stoneforge. What did they fetch? Sorry, I didn't notice. It's Hearth and Home. Because it gives pro-white. Sure. But they don't have an untapped creature for next turn. Sorry, I don't need to wait on them in that moment there. And then we get to grab Shadowspear next turn. And I have 2 mana open to put... No, I don't need mana. I have a Puresteel Paladin. But even if they kill my Paladin now, I can put the trample on the Esper Sentinel. Hearth and Home is so hot, TBH. I mean, it's hot. I don't know if it's good. Like, it's neat. It's It's cool that there's a sword that's actually seeing, you know, some experimentation right now. But I think like Steel and Sinew, it's, you know, probably not going to work out. Blinking the Stoneforge feels real good. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. Like, it's definitely better than the Proliferate one, right? Yeah, I think I just want to poop out another construct here. And then play a replacement Saga. Shadowspear. Do I want to equip the Shadowspear to something that isn't the Esper Sentinel? It's hot and it's worth money. What else do you want in life? Maybe I would prefer if my sword wasn't a gold digger, Roy. Jeez, so shallow. Does it make sense to split up my equipment? Like if they have removal? Because like what are they doing? They also have a flash creature, right? So I think it makes sense to split up my equipment. I think it also makes sense not to attack with Puresteel, just in case. So they have to block this, essentially. I mean, they don't have to, but... I bet they already had the Batterskull and or Cauldron Complete in their hand. That's probably what happened. And Cauldron Complete has First Strike and... Oh, okay. That doesn't have Death Touch right now, but it's about to. Which is going to kill my whatever they want. But that's not a problem. They have to block the Esper Sentinel. Yeah. With that card, they have to block the Esper Sentinel. I guess they could also have Batterskull in their hand already. Be pretty good. No, they're blocking now. Okay. I don't know, Roy. If I'm on a partner push, maybe it is. Maybe it's maybe we're gonna get some engagement from people liking or loathing your commentary on gold digging. Put the equipment on the Ornithopter since it's sort of the least threatening creature at the moment. And now I have an extra mana to crack this Silent Clearing if I want to. Is this the sword? Okay, but I have blockers for that. What does partner give me? I get a larger share of subs. I have access to animated emotes. Also, in theory, towards the push for partner, we'll pick up more subs on the way anyway. So just a bunch of things that would make it more lucrative for me to continue to stream as much as possible. Maybe even more so. There's not a lot of goals left for me, Eli Silva. Oh, how do you get partner? The only thing I need to do is get my viewer count up. And technically speaking, right now, if you only took certain streams that I do, mostly like the weekend ones, if you only counted those ones, my numbers would be high enough. But because I stream on weeknights, and I love doing that for people, but it's just a lot more competitive, then it's sort of pushed my numbers down a bit. So I'm guessing they have Cauldra or Batterskull here. So the question is, am I supposed to put all my equipment in one boat? And I think the answer is no. I don't need to play either of these pre-combat, so we'll just go and smash. Just all in. Push. Full court press. We can make a construct before combat damage if we need to, if it's relevant. Probably won't be. Another Ice Fang. Okay, so that's going to block my Ornithopter, I suppose. But, like, I still have very lethal damage here. They need something else. This is not enough. Solitude. Okay. So that's going to shoot my construct. If they have Ephemerate, that's really going to be bad. I already lost the Esper Sentinel. Thanks, Eli. Or Ellie, I'm not sure. Eli usually with an I guess. Okay, they didn't have the Ephemerate, so that's pretty good for us. Yeah, we get to keep some stuff. The reason I'm not equipping anything to Puresteel Paladin is because they're on a Bant deck. Basically, all the removal they could possibly be playing is Exile-based removal that's not really going to care about how big Puresteel Paladin is. Someone could probably cite some exception, but by and large, most of the things they're going to play just don't care about how big Puresteel Paladin is. So, if the Paladin dies, I can't equip for free anymore. So I want to make sure my equipment is on other creatures so that their priorities are torn all over the place. They're like, oh, I need to kill the Puresteel, but then I'm going to die to the Stoneforge, but then the Construct's also going to kill me. So what do? What do? What do? What's his name? Ross Miriam wrote an article for Star City, whoever he writes for, about this perhaps being the best Urza Saga shell in Modern, and I don't hate that attitude. This seems really strong. Without these constructs, without the pressure that has been created by the constructs, we certainly would not be in anywhere near as good a situation as we have been. Okay, they get to gain some life here if they want. They did grab Batterskull this time. If they have Ephemerate, they can go up another 6 life with that, which I don't think is enough, but certainly could be. You said I'm saying this shell is going to be their justification for the ban announcement? No, I think the artifact decks that use Hammer as a group might be. This is just the one where what it's doing kind of props it up the best. This and the food decks. They already have the goal. It's like, what do I want to say? It's like Titan? No, I don't think so. Titan. I don't think Titan's going to be a part of the motivation for the BNR. If there ever is a ban on Urza Saga, I don't think Titan's going to be the reason for it, because I think that Urza Saga does help Titan a little bit, but it seems to not really help Titan against the cards that already hosed it. Like, they just hose it. So, like, it doesn't help Titan against Blood Moons and pushes it in other directions sometimes, which make it worse. But I guess Fran would probably... You wish Amulet made it onto the ban list. I guess you weren't from the F-Plus raid. No, I know what you mean, but Okay, so the Sentinels probably need to hop out here. And then Seal of Cleansing against their artifacts, their equipment. And then probably Prismatic Ending. Not that amulet. Amulet of Quaz. Be a strange ban. Well, they're not going to ban Titan, right? Like, I guess that's the... Isn't there a Quicksilver amulet that's basically like an artifact version of Elvish Piper? I think so. 4 mana, 4 to activate. It's got a really cool art. Unfortunately, come on. Bad cards are okay. Nothing wrong with bad cards. Yeah, I remember that card. We thought that was the good stuff when we were kids. We thought that card was busted in half. Yeah, we're definitely keeping this. I don't know if this is going to win me a game, but it's definitely a keep. And we have, what, 21 lands? So... The original and the Corset Reprint are bangers. I only really remember the original. And, you know, I have to say, if you go and flip through the art of Modern Horizons 2, man, like, it's not just the Richard Kane Ferguson art on Dakon. Like, they did a really good job of actually getting very old school art, like Magic style art on all sorts of cards. And I'm just I'm such a boomer, but it's like it's a big deal for me. The tone of old Magic art just makes me so happy. If you look at Sanctifier en-Vec, that's a perfect example to me. Sanctifier en-Vec looks phenomenal. This dude looks so good. It's so good. It looks so good. I love that. I love that zoomer command. Yeah. All right. Well. Well. um, I don't think I'm attacking here because I actually need the artifact. I think we play Puresteel this turn because next turn I go hammer, hammer, equip, equip. Why couldn't they make Urza Saga look good? You know what? I have to agree with you. I think the art on it is really crappy. I just ordered my 4 in paper, and I was almost tempted to get the sketch ones. And by and large, I really don't think the sketches look good. I love the way Urza Lord High Artificer looks. I love the way that card looks. Looks really good. I mean, it's a bit modern-y for me, but it's just like a cool concept. And like, quite frankly, I look at art so badly that when I look at the Urza art, I don't look closely enough at it. For the sort of zoomeriness to really pop through. All right. So one assumes they have some kind of answer here. Might be a Spell Queller, might be Collector Oof. Sagas generally have amazing art. Yeah, the weird thing is like they seem to have like missed the, oh, come on, not again. It's like they missed the concept of the Saga. Like what made the Saga arts good was like being a Saga, like being, I don't know. I mean, we're not dead or anything here. It's just annoying. So we don't play the second hammer right now, I don't think, because they forgot to color it in. Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe I play the second hammer if... No, I don't need to do that. Just play Stoneforge here. Thin my deck a little bit, and Mirrodin Lorwyn has high-key the peak of Magic aesthetic. I mean, that's an opinion. Mine is literally just the era before that. So, I much prefer Odyssey Onslaught back through Urza Saga. For me, that's my favorite era of Magic art. Yeah, I mean, I liked Lorwyn Kamigawa and all that stuff, but it started being like really all over the place. And one of the things I love about Saga all the way up through Onslaught block is they kind of all look like they're actually from the same game. And they're from the same world, so I guess they should. Or at least they're basically from the same world. But like all of those things look like they're like covers of like 90s fantasy books. They look like they could be from D&D manuals. And that's just like an aesthetic that I love. I just realized they turned off their Aether Vial. Also, they had Prismatic Ending X2. Shame. Loads up shotgun. Well, guess we're grabbing our Lurrus. Come on, Mr. Kitty. Come on, Mr. Kitty. Meow. IPA is the best format. I prefer Bone Shaker. Bone Shaker is an IPA, Roy. Just if you're curious. If you want your shit posting to be accurate. Spends too much time drinking to know things about beer. Got it. Hammertime is basically Zoomer Bogles. I think it's more like Zoomer Infect, but yeah. All right. I mean, this is not like that helpful, but certainly helpful adjacent. I'm assuming they have ephemerate or some nonsense here. And then unlocking their vial doesn't feel great. Yeah. And they get to slide the oof with the Charming Prince trigger. God, that's such nonsense. Although the oof's not in play for now. Not that I can do anything with it, but, you know. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's so weird that they just... Oh, because they're going to use their Aether Vial. That's so rude. There's nothing I can do here. Rats. Yeah, but like I don't have enough mana left to... Okay, they didn't do anything with the vial? I thought they were going to for sure. That seemed like such a slick play. I thought they were going to really like give it to me on that one. Oh, that's where that ephemerate art is from. This is just going to be gain 3 or scry? Yeah, scry. Scry makes sense. If they had a land, I bet the last card in their hand is a Solitude. Spell Queller? Could be. Could be. They didn't have enough mana for it last turn, but I guess they couldn't imagine a world where they would need it. Did I have a land drop last turn? If I did, they maybe missed an opportunity there. Queller makes the vile stuff make sense. It does. It does. Oh, yeah, because I didn't... Well, I played a Springleaf Drum afterwards, but I guess they just don't want to counter that, which is fair. We just need to find another Sigarda's Aid. I mean, that's not all I need to find, but certainly would help. And, like, I would play Lurrus out this turn, but it just doesn't matter compared to everything else. Just get another hammer. I mean, Giver's not bad here. Why are we worried about Vile? I'm just worried about them getting some free value in. It's not like I'm actually worried about Vile. Eladomri's call. Okay. What horror is about to befall me? Yeah, but they flickered their oof out, right, Roy? Soul Herder. Okay. With the Wall of Omens. Gross. Yeah. Well, they did exile it for a whole turn, right? Like they didn't have to do that. They chose to do that. So I was wondering why. And Spell Queller is the only thing that actually makes sense. Swiss Sneeze is totally right. Well, looking to find Sigarda's Aid still. Or their Bluff Gods. I mean, I don't know about gods. Like, that might have been just some fancy play syndrome. Yikes. I mean, I think I'll play the Lurrus now. Because it's more mana efficient. Doesn't really do much for me. We're in huge trouble here. The natty draw collector oof is such a pain. Good to see Ice Fang, I would guess. Nope. But if I ever do draw a hammer, or sorry, a Sigarda's Aid, we could basically end the game on the spot because I just attack with everything and I have more than enough attackers still. Plus Ornithopter's flying and they currently don't have a flying blocker. So the only out for them is Solitude at that point. Grabs their Urian. Nice. All right. Let's draw the hammer this turn and just punish them. Come on, deck. We need the heater. This guy's not used to Giver. Yeah, have they punted against it twice? That was the same match? Yeah. Come on. Oh. No. What did I board in the paths this time? I didn't, did I? No, of course I didn't, because I'm terrible at this game. I mean, I still should do this, because there's a good chance we're just drawing a land here. Is it hammer time? No, I can't get it equipped. There's no point in playing these hammers, because if I don't have the Sigarda's Aid, and I draw a Sigarda's Aid, I will want them. Also, I don't have a Puresteel Paladin in play. If I draw a Puresteel Paladin, I would like to be able to cantrip off of these equipment. So there's really, realistically, no reason to. If I sack Silent... Oh, okay, good. Okay, got it. Yeah, okay. As long as you're just shitposting, that's all good. They can start setting up the Urian Ultra Value train here, too. And now they have enough blockers, it's going to be a problem. In theory. In practice, maybe not. Because they have enough white creatures that if I get everything equipped for free... Well, we'll see. Stoneforge. Okay. Cauldra, sure. Yeah, we'll see. All right, what do you got? Come on, deck. Ooh, not the best. So I have a Lurrus. So if they put in Cauldra and attack with it, I can block it, take 3 and gain 3. So it's not like we're on a super fast clock or anything right here. The bigger concern is just the value from Soul Herder burying us, which it has been for turns and turns and turns, obviously. Like, it's well beyond the point that if I actually do draw the Sigarda's Aid, that I'm just pretty convinced that it's not going to be able to do anything. But I don't really see a reason to concede. If they ever play Urian, they're going to clock the hell out of themselves trying to get all these triggers going. If they're not used to Giver, I can't imagine how well they can try to wrangle with a Urian. Yeah, exactly, Swiss. It's not even desperation, right? I mean, that's the play. They don't have any creatures that don't fit those color descriptions, so that will just go through and kill them. Solitude. Targets? So they have to have an ephemerate here, right? Just... Oh, I see. I no longer have that line. Sure. Let's give... They already played a land this turn, I believe. They have not. All right, so we're going to give Lurrus Pro Black. I mean, it's fine. It's like... This game was already pretty awful, so it's not like it's realistically all that much worse. Like, yeah, it's worse, but not really. Pro White? I mean... They have a Flickering Solitude? Oh my god, they have a Flickering Solitude. I forgot that Soul Herder is obviously allowed to flicker the thing they just played. There's no reason why it wouldn't be. I just, like, the Solitude was Swords to Plowshares, right? Like, it's not allowed to trigger again, unless they play specifically Ephemerate, which is, of course, a spell that they played. But you can't Soul Herder a Solitude. I mean, that would just be ridiculous. It just doesn't make any sense to me, that's what I'm saying here. These are the things. These are the things. These are what make me a bad Magic the Gathering player. The fact that I never realistically think ahead on situations like that. If I was designing their deck, I'd be like, yeah, of course we want this synergy. Playing against it, I'd be like, they can't do that. Just doesn't make any sense. They played Solitude at sorcery speed, like during a main phase. Yeah, sure, if they played on my turn, I'd be like, oh my god, at the end of their next turn, they're going to flicker it. The way they did it here, just no dignity, you know? No respect for the maximum value that card could have had. All right, let's get these paths in here. Probably ditch the Seal of Cleansings, as usual. How dare I? How dare I? I can't get no regard. No regard at all. No esteem either. Wow, that is a colossally poor hand. Very resilient to Collector Oof, though. I don't know, how busted is Saga? Anyone? Anyone want to keep this hand? Anyone? No. Man, this one's bad too? Oh, man. Alright, going to 5. Alright. Ditch a Paladin. Ditch a second Paladin. We go turn 1 Aid, turn 2 Saga. And then when the Saga pops, we get a free equip through a Collector Oof. I mean, I think this is the keep. It's not great. There's realistically there's no way I can. Although maybe I'm supposed to slow roll the Aid because they could have ending. But like I don't really think that works out in my favor. They got to keep their 7. We're probably just screwed. But like this plays into, if I draw a turn 2 hammer, this plays into the best. And if they have the ending, they have the ending, like right off the bat. You know? When we mulled to 5 on this one, it really wasn't going to be. That's not a hammer. You're going to get the free attack here. No blocks. Interesting. Yeah, I mean the lack of 2 white sources was kind of crappy, Dave. It just was like really awkward all over. Stoneforge. Okay. I just wouldn't hate drawing a hammer here. Anybody? Sword of Hearth and Home. Again. Oh no. It's so efficient. Jeez. Yeah, well. Bant's stuff is definitely going to be a reasonable shot against. Oh, I will go get the Stream Decker bot, Luke. Apparently it decided to check itself out. I'm checking in. He's checking in. I'm checking in. No more drugs or alcohol. All right. So we're looking pretty toast here. But I mean, Bant because they now have better early game answers, like we saw Prismatic Ending rock us both games, it really pushes them into a totally different matchup here. Before Prismatic Ending, I think this match would have been a lot easier because they would have had to play things like, oh my god, gross. These decks are so efficient now, it's crazy. And they managed to find their land drop finally. Gosh, that's tough. Okay, with Saga, I guess I'm gonna Pithing Needle the Stoneforge Mystic. And then just hope Construct Beatdown gets there. Although they've got the Death Toucher already, so Shadowspear doesn't really make any sense here. And we're flooding. Yikes. Yeah, they got sort of Hearth and Home. But I think we just named Stoneforge. And then I guess if they have, I don't know, could name land. Yeah. I don't know about that one. That feels a little ambitious. I mean, I guess it would have shut off their Death Touch, and I would get them this turn. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that one. Yeah, maybe that was the play. I mean, I talked about it before on a previous one, and I threw it out because I was like, that's ridiculous and cute. But in this case, it actually might have been kind of the only way to get back into this. But then they get to keep the Ice Fang for that turn, just ephemerate it and draw another card. I don't know. That seems pretty poor. Because then they're just not blocking and they get to draw another card. I guess Stoneforge is drawing whatever card they want. It's just Demonic Tutor, so. If they have the land, this is basically over. They just got Batter Skull. I mean, I guess if they play, well, they have 7 cards in hand. I don't know. Yeah, you know what? I'm just done here. We're not coming back from this. It's just that was just way too obnoxious. Why didn't they activate Stoneforge there? I have a Pithing Needle on it. This was way too obnoxious of a start from them. That's so many value plays in the first 3 turns. We just can't keep up with that. Especially on the mold of 5. Just wasn't gonna happen. And that's fine. Thanks, Bud V. Bud V. Thanks, Bud V. So 1-1, 3-3 in games against Bant piles, which is, I don't know what's going on with Bant piles today. Infinite Bant piles. Prismatic Ending is a really, really good card for your opponents to be playing when all of your synergy pieces cost 1. But I did just I did just order my 4 old frame Prismatic Endings yesterday, along with my Urza Sagas, along with a bunch of stuff. All right, shorter queue. I like the shorter queue. I'll take it. Yeah. So turn 3 kill on the draw. Probably good enough. Island. Aether Vial. The fish. Maybe. The fish. So, Pithing Needle seems like the play. Is there any way I can end up getting a turn 2 kill here? No. No, I need a Springleaf and a 0-drop. So we just set up for the turn 3. As with the Velomachus deck, you always want to start. I mean, really anything in Modern, you want to think turns out. So it's like, even if there's not a particularly powerful play for you to make on the turn that you're looking at, you want to see, like, how can I best set up for next turn? Stoneforge gives me another hammer at essentially no cost. And it also means that... Oh, no, hold on. I need to pay to animate this, and I need to... Okay, so if I'm going to go for the... If I'm going to go for the kill next turn, I need to do this now. Interestingly, I think they're a Force of Negation deck, and they're a Counterspell deck, so depending on how they play this turn, I may have to not go for the kill next turn. Oh, also they've got Dockhand, which can shut off Inkmoth. Oh, maybe I should have played the Stoneforge this turn. I wasn't even thinking about the Dockhand's activated ability. Yeah. In before Dockhand locks down the kill. Well, it wouldn't... I don't think that... I think what's going to happen is they're going to upkeep tap my Inkmoth. I think. Because, like, if they let me declare it as an attacker, then they're just... Yeah. You don't tap my land. I tap my land. Yeah. I'm going to animate it. Why? Oh. Because it's funny. Stoneforge Mystic. Memnite is actually a big draw here because now I have enough creatures to kind of go over the top. Over the top. Around. Obviously around. Over the river and through the folk. How do you like playing with a totally fair and reasonable amount of mana opponent? Is that fun for you? Do you like that? You having a time? To fizzle your opponent's like Field of Ruin is the best. Field of Ruin your Inkmoth, animated in response, Blossoming Defense. Oh! Just right in the nads. Wait. Oh, so they're saying they have a Force of Negation here. 110%. But do they have two? No, they don't. They're just conceding. Silver Gill Adept, draw a card. Scoop.
It's Hammer time.
Oh, that's so funny. All right. So Prismatic Ending, yes. Path to Exile, yes. And I don't think that I want anything else here. No, I do not. The other hammer deck is more fun. I mean, I like it more. This deck is fun. It's just like it's a little more one-dimensional. Yeah, I saw that, Phoenix. I saw that. I went and I checked his 5-0. But I mean, as I said to you, and I don't want to make a big thing, but like I watched Anurag play the Velomachus deck, and I was hooked after like 20 seconds of watching him just talk about it, because like he clearly had no idea what he was doing. It's just so over. No, Zan Saeed, the Team Lotus Box captain and otherwise well-known Magic personality. Well, not personality, player, grinder, deck brewer. The original inventor of Simic Urza. I mean, him and his team. I don't know if it was him, but he was certainly like one of the first people to sort of pop off with it. Popularized it, to be sure. Siding out Giver instead of Sentinel. Against their monocolored deck that's potentially playing Dismembers? Probably not. Could be, though. I mean, you'd have to do some convincing, Cobra Snake. The thing is, like, Giver just gives a creature unblockable, right? Against their deck. And, like, Sentinel, like, the only things they're playing that are non-creature spells are Aether Vials, which hopefully are going to come down before my Sentinel. And I'm on the... Maybe, though. But, I mean, I know they play Counterspell and Force of Negation. How's it going, KO? Drawing from Counter Magic? I guess so. Yeah. I went the way I did. Maybe I'm just really sour on Esper Sentinel. I am very sour on Esper Sentinel, by the way. Like, card has not impressed me at all, and I really, really, really wanted to like it. So, you know, if we draw a land, this is a turn 2 kill. No, it's not. We're one short. One short. You hear Esper's great in Legacy. That's awesome. Like, you know, but there's a lot of cards that get to be great in Legacy. Not Astrolabe, but all right, come on. Yeah, yeah. All right, fine. Land? Not a land. I guess I could have Prismatic Ending their Rashad and Dockhand there. Might have been worthwhile. Whoa, that's awesome, JK. You'll get there. You'll oh you did get it. No, you got the 4-1 last night. That's fine. You'll get there. Good player, good deck. Do it. They didn't do it? What is happening? What are they concerned about? So, instead of actually making a stupid move that gets me beat up here, let's play Giver. Because I'm pretty sure this means they have Dismember in hand. Can Enduring Ideal on 3. Do you have turn 1 acceleration to turn 2 Wargate out your Lotus Bloom? Is that the trick? I bet it is. Something in my soul tells me that's what you're up to. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Tap down my land. You fool! You took damage for that. Do I want to put my hammer in right now? I think I do. What do I think they can do about this? Like, obviously force a negation, but that's going to get me anyway. It's not going on the Inkmoth this way, but, like, I don't know. I feel like we can get there eventually. And I've got Puresteel Paladin, which reasonably soon gets snap-on, snap-offs for cheap. Rashad and Dockhand did not expect the Springleaf Drum. And that's the scoop. That's a match win. That was a match win. That's what that looked like right there. Wild. Enduring Ideal on 3 into Wargate Gate. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool technology right there. Think the deck could use this in Kaldra? Well, then we couldn't be a Lurrus deck. We don't have the sweet, sweet freedom of your Urian deck to throw in all sorts of nonsense KO. Also, this isn't my list. Maybe if I built this list, it would be a Kaldra deck. And it would be a Urian deck. And it would play blue. And it would play Urza. But we don't live in that world right now. If Mana Symbol and KO Diamonds had a deck, baby, Abzan, Blue, Stoneforge, main deck, Lurrus, Urza. It's your stream, can't you play whatever? Oh, I'm just saying I don't live in the world where I decided to do something that sounds like such a ridiculous idea. Abzan Lorehold, yeah, it could be. On the play, huh? Alright, yeah. Maybe Esper Sentinel draws me a card this game. Alright, we got 2 matches left. So prediction's gonna go up here. All right, you can bet some points on this bad boy. Prediction's going up here. So start prediction, new prediction. All right. How many wins in this league? Boring. Can I draw a single card with Esper Sentinel? Nope. Yep. Submission period's going to be a little shorter than usual. Just 2 minutes, just because I've only got 2 matches left. So, press bets now. Can we draw 1 card with Esper Sentinel? And I'm going to slow roll this turn 1 a little bit to give my opponent more time not to play stuff. Goes to combat. No attackers. Goes to end step. Lukewarm. Yeah, but on which one? I gotta know. I have Excite. All right, first chance. Oh, sorry. I just put them in slot 1 and slot 2. I did not mean to scam you, friend. I am the anti-scam. It's your fault, really, not for not reading, for engaging with too much Twitch content. Whatever you did wrong, it's 100% your fault, and I can't believe you did that to my stream. The integrity is compromised, and it will never recover. I just want you to know it's your fault. Sorry. Do I actually think I'm against Burn, or do I think I'm against some like Imperial Recruiter nonsense? I guess it doesn't matter, and I'm supposed to just get a hammer here. But I'm like kind of considering getting Shadowspear. But I guess I get the Shadowspear with the Saga. Yeah, probably makes sense. Vantage means burn. I mean, I've seen people play really goofy mana bases. I guess they're not playing Urian, so it's probably not some recruiter nonsense. Eidolon? Searing Blaze. Well, prediction over. Roy or Alex, can you reward that prediction for me? We did it! Yay! Wait, they shot the Stoneforge? Whatever. All right. That was like the only thing they shouldn't have shot, right? Am I wrong? Is this the real life? Or is this just fantasy? Trigger, draw a card. The lack of concession really makes me think that they're playing like main deck of Braid or some nonsense. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm just saying Esper Sentinel disappointed me. I'm just saying Esper Sentinel disappointed me. That's all I was saying, is that the reality was that in the decks I had played it in, which admittedly had basically no ways to increase its power, disappointment is the worst you can do in some cultures. Got it. Okay, so we're against something with red, so let's get Burrenton Forge-Tender and Sanctifier en-Vec. I love this art. God, it's so good. So good. That's probably it. Maybe Prismatic Ending? Yeah, Prismatic Ending was probably okay. Especially if they have, like, Whirling Vortex. Sentinel stays. Giver's probably some hot nonsense when all of their removal kills all my creatures. I think that makes sense. And then Steelshaper, because like trying to combo kill them fast is probably a bit loose. We need to slow roll. Oh, and Pithing Needle is probably no good. All right. Unless they have Roiling Vortex. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe they're just on Skullcrack. I think if I were a Burn player right now, I'd want to be playing Skullcrack. I think I want to be playing Skullcrack always, unless the trigger from Roiling Vortex was really good right now. Does anyone think that they missed the fact that Esper Sentinel was itself an artifact and adding to my artifact count for potential metalcraft? Or do you think they just didn't think about it and didn't care? I think they were probably just felt very dead, which, you know, they were. Zero Lander. Well, we're not playing Affinity, so I gotta ship it. But I did 5-0 keeping a Zero Lander. It's like turn 1, double Frogmite, double Memnite, and more stuff. It was really goofy. Oh my god, it was so stupid. Yeah, that might have been what happened there, yeah. Alright, this hand isn't great, but it's not bad. It'll get there pretty quickly. I recommend asking the opponent why they punted. I mean, to be fair, that's kind of the respectful way to do that, Roy, right? Okay, so this is an interesting decision point. So, if I play Ornithopter now, I can play Sigarda's Aid this turn. But if I save it, then I definitely have a creature, or sorry, I get it in underneath. I think I'm supposed to do this, but like, if they just burn it, then I lose kind of an extra mana. Yeah, we play everything we can here because they could just turn 2 Eidolon. But I think it was like worth talking about like how my brain, and then at least someone else in the world would have made the mistake there of being like, wait, I don't want to feed my Ornithopter to their burn spell. And it's like, yeah, but Eidolon though. Yeah. No, I mean, I agree, Roy. But it's also, yeah, I mean, rapport is a big part of it, right? Because in person, like, the same question can be very welcome and a great growing moment, or, like, super unwelcome, depending on who it's coming from. So, like, case in point, one of the best ways to do that if you're playing Magic against someone you think they made a questionable play, like, after the match is over, you could be like, hey, at this point, why did you do this thing? Don't tell them that you think it was a mistake. Just ask them why they did what they did. Maybe they'll have a great answer that you never would have thought of, and then you get to learn something. Or maybe you get to teach them something. All right, so Stoneforge Mystic's about to become a huge gal. Thickforge Mystic, anybody? And then we can play Puresteel and move the equipment next turn? Yeah, that seems good. No! Ah! Oh, the misclicks. Man versus Moto continues tonight on HBO. No, Fox? I don't know. Which one's more raunchy? HBO for sure. It's fine. This really doesn't affect too much. I should have a giant Stoneforge this turn, and I don't. I don't think it's going to be a problem, but we'll see. Exactly, opponent. What? Don't even ask. I just wanted to see if it would work. I thought Inkmoth Nexus might be lazy and shiftless. All right? I just wanted to see if he was willing to work hard for his money. So hard for it, honey. If they tap out, I win? Yeah. I don't think they're going to, but... But even if they don't, I play Puresteel. Hold on. So how does this work? Play Puresteel. No, we just play the Stoneforge Mystic, and then we have double hammer in hand. And enough mana. Yeah, and then we just attack with the other Stoneforge. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Oh, or the Ornithopter, right? Yeah. Unless they have Path. So I guess Path would beat me here, but then I have Puresteel next turn anyway, so I'm not going to worry about it. So we go combat, swing with Thopter. I guess the really next level play, if they don't have Path, is bolt the Thopter before blocks, and then I have to make it drop out of the air. Yeah. So that would have been the next level play. If they didn't have Path to Exile, and they only had one removal spell. I guess I'm not drawing cards with Puresteel, which I hate, but, you know, I'm going to try to win the game, so whatever. Quit. Snap on. Oh, what Dector? They're not going to like this one. And Colossus Hammer slamming in on the battlefield. And that's going to be all she wrote for the Burn player. I think we just played 2 matches in a row where we played to like turn 4 each game. Which, I mean, I guess I get why people like these decks. It's certainly a really good lunch break deck. If you wanna go play a tournament and you always want to make sure you have time to eat at the end of the round or whatever. Quickly easy if you're farming. Yeah, exactly. And if you get really good at knowing the sequencing. Duckman dead. If you wanted to farm, you play Stardew Valley. Yo, I'm with you. Man, this hand is hot. It's a little sketchy, but it's my kind of sketchy. I'm in. So I could play more than 1 0-drop on turn 1. I think I'm just gonna play an Ornithopter. I'm just worried about like overcommitting a number of creatures that I don't need to. I guess the downside of this hand is I don't have a way to get this hammer equipped, and I don't really have the mana for Puresteel Paladin yet. Ignoble Hierarch. Yavimaya into Ignoble Hierarch. Okay. Esper gonna draw for sure. We'll see. We'll see. All right, Stoneforge is not useless. Those are Yogg cards? Oh boy, I hope not, but certainly could be. Oh, yeah. So sorry. I took a poke at Jerry Thompson commenting on activating Urza Saga during your upkeep to make a construct when it's about to chick up to chapter 3. And while that is a totally I should play the Memnite on turn 1. While that is a totally fair poke, I think it's important to note that it's not just one small disadvantage to do that. It's very large because the design of sagas was such that they let you see the card you draw for your turn before you need to make any decisions about what their trigger is. And if you've decided to tap essentially 3 mana before you've drawn your card for the turn, that can be super relevant. So don't do that. Let the saga go on the stack before you decide whether or not you want to activate it when it's going to chapter 3. Why would you activate on upkeep? Because you think, mistakenly, that you have to. That seemed to be their impression. It's definitely Yawgmoth at this point. Yeah, for sure. Which means I'm going to Pithing Needle their Yawgmoth. And I'm not going to talk about how hot my draw was there, because it was really good. Don't need to do that. Okay, I do need to do this. Yeah. We put the hammer on the Sentinel, because if they have any of their tutor spells then they're going to definitely let us draw a card. So the most relevant question for the next, well, for this game, from our perspective, is do they have a main decked restoration stage, or something similar to that, or do they not? But I guess they're kind of squeezed already, because if they want to get a sage or something similar to that, they have to decide between killing the Sigarda's aid or killing the hammer, and they don't know that I have a second hammer. We do have no lands in play, by the way, which is pretty remarkable that we've gotten this far. Opponent says great hand. I like it. Smile. Colon, close parenthesis. Opponent kept one lander with additional mana sources. Well, no, technically two lander. But why male models, Roy? Why? Opponent's in the tank. I thought that's where the hand model was the reference was from, because that's the, you dislike that movie. I don't normally like Ben Stiller movies. That one's a bit of a standout. It has Owen Wilson in it. That's probably the big draw. It wasn't a reference. Oh, got it. Okay. Oh, being a hand model, because my hand is what I kept, and it was a model. Okay, I got there. I'm very smart, incredibly sharp. So they can chord for X3 here with the Wall of Roots. They need a flyer, or the Ornithopter with the second hammer is going to get them. Eldritch Evolution. Hey, we're drawing a card. Pog. It's a land. What? All right. What do you got? How good is it? Yeah, the main deck needle is freaking huge, man. It's I mean, I've liked it in all of the, oh, grist. That's hot. Stop trying to make grist happen. Grist is not going to happen. No, grist is great in their deck. It really is. You may sacrifice a creature. When you do, destroy target creature or planeswalker. Sacks the second young wolf. Shoots down the sentinel. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. I love this whole, like, long road they've gone through, and it just doesn't matter. Flash Flyer. Oh, they're gonna be so mad. They're gonna be so mad. I could tap this without taking damage. Hot. Oh, but I didn't.
It's hammer time.
They gave me the dots, chat. They gave me the dots. Dot, 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 dot. I guess their tweet is to be continued. I'm just gonna fill up my water bottle. Opponent said perfect hand. I mean, you didn't die on turn 2, so not perfect. But damn good. :D. All right. Sanctifier stops Grolf's Messenger from being as much of a jerk. Doesn't stop Strangle Roots and Young Wolves, but has Pro Black for Young Moth. Prismatic Ending's probably actually no good here, but Path is excellent. Maybe Relic? Probably Tormod's Crypt. No, I'm gonna waffle. I think this is too many sideboard cards. Esper Sentinel's probably awful here. Although I guess they have to chord with like no mana up all the time. Maybe this is the giver out matchup. Because they're like not big on removal for my creatures. Other than the Yawgmoth, which is going to machine gun them all down without caring. And then sport out Steelshapers a little bit. And then one... Needle's great. Probably even want the second needle. But I don't have time to figure it out. What a Memnite. Alright. I don't think I did that right. I'm 100% sure I did not correctly sideboard for this matchup. But we'll do our best. I messed up my neck when I fell off my bike, I think. Trying to tune my Bant Enchantress sideboard, struggling with Amulet Titan. Does Gaddock Teague actually seem great versus them, or are you going crazy? You're going crazy. It's not great versus them. It's like they side out creature removal, or at least non-sided in. Yeah, but what do you want to stop with Teague? Non-creature spells with converted mana cost 4 or greater? Or X spells? Because I don't think they really care too much about either of those things. Yeah, that's not a non-creature spell. Yeah, I get it. I get it. It's like Lavinia, right? Oh, it's so good against the Amulet Titan. Why? Because it counters their Pact? No, because it counters their Titan. No, it doesn't. Hand's fine. Let's go. It's actually kind of... We've got the Path, so... It's a little slow, but slow is okay here. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I was the one who put Soul Guide Lanterns into the sideboard of a deck that was trying to win with Madcap Experiment. I played that on stream for an entire league. Does Titan run any enchantment hate? They usually run something like Engineered Explosives. No, Meddling Mage is an okay choice. Meddling Mage is an okay choice. Yeah. If you're playing Bant, I mean, if you want to buy time, Prismatic Ending does a really good job. Prismatic Ending tends to buy you a pretty reasonable number of turns. You could also just play something like Damping Sphere, right? Unless you're casting a lot of turns. Or a lot of cards in one go. Which you're probably not. That about Despair? Okay. It's not bad. I mean, it's always fine. I'm a one spell per turn kind of guy. I don't like to exhaust myself. Slow roll it. All right. Tapped is good. Now they're set up for their infinite tutors. I did board out my Sentinels? No, I didn't. I just didn't draw one. Unfortunate. D-Sphere, I don't think you want that. I would almost recommend Meddling Mage and Nevermore, some division of those, because I feel like there's other decks you could play those against as well. Things like Ad Nauseam, things like, I don't know, just like combo decks in general. No spell. Yeah, Wear Tear is good. What? I know you meant D-Sphere, not Detention Sphere. Oh, maybe I thought you meant Detention Sphere for a second. No. I suggested D-Sphere, so Wet Ball. Wet Ball would be a recommendation. So play Saga. Boot up my flyer, go get him for one, I guess. Like, if they kill this, I probably okay for now. Poke. Why Inkmoth over Saga there? Mostly because I'm bad. Wait, on turn 1, right, is when I played the Inkmoth? What was my sequencing? I don't like playing Saga on 1 because it guarantees you miss a... okay. It guarantees you miss a construct unless you have, like, 0-drop Springleaf Drum. Which I'm really not a fan of. I think... No, I couldn't have played Inkmoth on 2. I played Plains on 2 because I played Stoneforge Mystic on 2. I had to have a white source and play on 2. So I went Inkmoth, Plains, Saga. Did I not have a Saga in hand on turn 2? I had the Saga in hand since the beginning of the game. I just don't like playing it before turn 2 ever. And the particular way my hand kind of sequenced out, I wanted to put the Inkmoth into play on 1 because I like threatening the opponent with the potential turn 2. Although it probably wasn't worth anything here. This turn I maybe should have just grabbed Lurrus rather than do anything else, but I didn't. Springleaf's a great draw. Well, it's a good draw. Well, it isn't, right? Because it's a sorcery. The number one appeal of Prismatic Ending is that it exiles an amulet on turn 1, which is really good. Yeah, and it's good in a huge number of matchups, right? Like, if you ever want to board up an interaction, Prismatic Ending basically comes in anywhere. I probably could have had it here. Chord X3. Growl's Messenger. Jerry. That's a beater. That's a beater. Alpenmoon? Yeah, Alpenmoon is good. Doesn't help you not die to Titan with Double Strike, but... No, Confounding Conundrum has been totally ruled out as garbage. And here comes the Yawgmoth. Yep. Goodbye, battlefield that I had. Alas, poor battlefield. I knew you well. Oh, no, it's me. I'm dead. But is there a window for me to... I guess I was maybe supposed to path the messenger before Yawgmoth came in? No, I don't think so. So they sack that. The Undying triggers on the stack. So that can't come back until that trigger was... So we just path now. I lose a construct for this, but it's fine. And they missed the opportunity to attack this turn, which is pretty good. Do I want to drop in a hammer? No, not really. Do I? I guess if I top deck a... No. Because then I would want to draw the cards with the Paladin. Puresteel Paladin. I mean, yeah, but you can't cover every possible angle. Like, it's just... That's one of the things that makes Titan a good deck. It's like, it's one of those decks where you can't beat everything that they could possibly do to you. Might as well jump. Let's go ahead and jump. I think Shadowspear. Do I think that I have to Needle Yawgmoth now? No. But if they get a Yawgmoth, I'm in huge trouble, so let's do it. It's not like I'm going to attack with this construct anyway, so... Do I want my construct bigger than this? Yeah, because they've got the Hierarch. So, I hate doing this, but I think I would like to have a 6/6 construct here just so I don't start taking a bunch of beatings that I don't need to. Although if they go attack and then I block and then they kill one of my other artifacts, I get blown out. So maybe I don't end up blocking anyway just because the potential of getting the Shadowspear equipped next turn is too important. We'll see. We'll see. You try Meddling Mage and 1 Prismatic Ending. Sure. I think 1 Prismatic Ending is a little bit crazy, but... Rex Sage out of the hand. That sucks. Goodbye, Sweet Needle. Probably. Maybe the construct bites it here. No, Needle. They could have done this post-combat and potentially gotten a huge win. Little surprised they didn't, but maybe they have another play and it's not going to matter anyway. I think I'm chump blocking this with Stoneforge. Stoneforge is not helping me out much here. I can take the 5. It'll never be relevant. My opponent's not playing a beatdown deck. It's a combo deck. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, that's fine. Oh, God! All right. I like that one. Go get him. Arr. Arr. I'm going to mess you up. Opponent? Okay. You'll figure it out. Paying costs. What? God, that's so rude. Why did you block? Ugh. Just the rudeness. Ugh. Sanctifier on Vec. Go past the turn. The disrespectful push. Ugh. Just... Are you... Sorry, I haven't been able to look at your deck yet, JK. Are you playing main deck Leylines? Or are we suggesting that you sideboard in Leyline of Sanctity against Titan? Because I would never suggest that. That would be crazy. Oh, yeah. Okay, take 3. Puresteel Paladin, please. Uh-oh. Yipes! Okay, we're low. Not dead yet. Yipes. Wait a minute. So Stoneforge could trade with Rexage if they attack with only one creature. They attack with multiple creatures. Well, we'll see. I would have loved to have time to grab my Lurrus, but realistically, I just don't think that's happened. But I am glad I didn't bust my Stoneforge earlier. Just throw it under the Growl's Messenger, because I'm pretty happy with this board state, that they're living off the top of their library, and if they hit something hot, we're toast. But if we hit Sigarda's Aid or Puresteel, we're in good shape. Puresteel would basically end the game on the spot, basically. Well, that sucks. Plague Engineer. Name Inkmoth. Blinkmoth. You can't name Inkmoth. Poor. That's hilarious. Attacks with only Rexage? Oh, attacks with all? Oh, that sucks. Okay. Well. Do I feel like going to 3 here and getting rid of a Growl's Messenger permanently? I think that I do. I don't think anything awful happens to me. Okay. They have no cards in hand, so I think this just ends up being a win for us. Yep. Huh. That worked out. Did they miss the Sanctifier? I think they did. I'm not sure. Jeez. No, we're good. Okay, so equip. If I grab Lurrus, I have a 3/3 lifelink, so they can hit me for 3, but I gain 3. They can't attack with one creature, so. I mean, yeah, there's stuff that they draw where they just kill me, but I mean, we're not making any forward motion without doing this, and Lurrus is really going to change the dynamic of this game here, so. They're one hot top deck away from killing me. I'm one hot top deck away from killing them. I don't have anything excellent in my graveyard, but I do have a Pithing Needle, which will at least lock up future Yawgmoth nonsense. Although I guess Gris... No, Gris can't kill Sanctifier here. So, okay. It's good with Yawgmoth. Not good with this battlefield. I don't know if they can attack here. I think it's really bad if they do. And they concur. Okay, well, I'm going to give them some free life here, but that's okay. 4, 5, 6. We almost have 8 mana. We're getting there. Yeah. Pretty sure I just played Needle on Yawgmoth here. Yeah, I can't attack. Having the pro black. Attacking just gains me 3 life. Yeah, it's not worth anything. But we got time. We got time now. It's not fair. There's time now. It's not fair. Ignoble Hierarch. Not relevant. Life gain's kind of annoying, but they were also almost at 20. Thank you for the follow there, Aya White. Aya White. Oh, yeah. Wait, I just jump block with a Thopter. So this is like one point of life gain for them. I mean, it ties up my free creature, but that's fine. There it is. Well, that's game. Hey, if you just want to, if you want to enjoy some Magic the Gathering gameplay, just look for the happiest streamer on Twitch. No, he's talking about himself, people, but thanks for playing. Snap on. The new Colossus Hammer. Everywhere you want to be. Thanks, Roy. I was hoping someone would have. They gave me the dots again, by the way. ... I'm sorry, am I not 19 cards into my deck? Did I not play a Stoneforge Mystic earlier? What do you want from me? Should I tell them I'm a streamer? That's clearly why I'm so lucky. Oh, they're just done. They just don't want to see it anymore. That's fair. That's fair. So, you know, it's funny. Lurrus, definitely a necessary part of the puzzle here. Really didn't come up that much in a bunch of the games, bunch of the matches, but when push came to shove, the rubber hit the road, and there was Lurrus picking us up and carrying us across the finish line. So yeah, I mean, Hammertime is a really cool, aggressive deck. The dimension that Urza Saga adds to it is very, very excellent. And obviously the tutor for a hammer, if you have a Steelshaper, or if you have a Sigarda's Aid or a Puresteel Paladin in play already, is great. It can tutor you up the Shadowspear. I don't know if the 2 Steelshaper's gift with everything else is the exact right mixture here, but I assume the person who 5-0'd would know better. Same with the sideboard. I just like my Urian to be more awesome than yours is, KO. I love Urian. I think I love Urian more than you do, but I love Urian at his best. I don't want to see Urian in his washed up, just being a fair mid-range card role. I like it when he's got like 18 different things to flicker. Flickering main board just looks really clean. Yeah, I guess so. Like the 2 Steelshaper's gifts kind of bother me. The 3 Giver of Runes kind of bother me. But yeah. And then the sideboard is kind of like, it's a bunch of 2-ofs, which is kind of awkward. It didn't seem like we were missing anything major for any major matchups, but I don't know well enough. So I'm just not sure. But you can check out people like Connor Man. He used to stream a ton of this deck. Maybe he will again at some point, and maybe have more expertise on it. I mean, I'm a fan of Lurrus in general as a companion. It just seems really good whenever you can have it. Anyway, so if you are in the future watching this on the YouTube, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, check out any other videos of any other decks that you are interested in, and